Welcome back. Today we're going to talk about calculator trig, and I've put a picture up here about what your calculator needs to be able to do this. In order to do trig on a calculator, you have to have the sine, cosine, and tangent buttons. You have to have it. So whether it's TI-83, TI-84, if it's a TI-30, whatever it is, has to have the sine, cosine, and tangent. Now, the other key to using the calculator for trig is you must be in degree mode when dealing with degrees. You must be in degree mode when dealing with degrees. Now, if you've got a TI-83 or a TI-84, that's going to look like this. You need to go to mode. So you'll press the mode key. It's like right here. It's by the second button. See it? And when you go there, you're going to see a menu that gives you a bunch of different options, and you need to highlight degree. Okay, so this is an 83 or an 84 from TI. And let's see. If you got one of these other dealies, okay, you got one of the TI-30s, okay, it's also going to be like the DRG button. This is the TI-30. So you're going to highlight DEG. Okay, so that's the basics. You have to have yourself in degree mode in order to do this. And once you do that, it's a snap. So that's the first part. Second part is we're going to use a calculator to find these values. Now, if you have the TI-83 or the 84, which hopefully you do, since it's in degree mode, you don't need to actually put in the degree symbol. So really what we need to find is the cos or cosine. And you can see that when you type in cos, it's going to give you this with the parentheses. And then you just need to put in your 37.8. So it's really going to look like this. And you can optionally close those parentheses, but if you don't, it should be okay. And it's going to give you 0.790155012. This is what I'm going to take. Okay, you're going to round to the tens, hundred thousand, 10,000ths place, so 4 decimal places. Okay, sine is the exact same way. In your calculator, you're going to put in sine, and I'm just going to draw it a different way this time. Because if we do sine 58.75, I don't even have to close the parentheses. See if you can see that. Didn't close the parentheses, and then when I hit enter, it's going to give me 0.8549. Okay, so that's the basics. When I look over, I'm going to see secant, and here's the trouble with secant. The trouble with secant is we actually don't have a secant button on here. And it's not the same as, like inverse sine. See that? That's not secant. Okay, so we're going to have to do a little bit of understanding here. I know that the secant of 78 is going to be 1 over the cosine of 78. Okay, so I'm going to have to do a little bit of mathematical stuff here. And so when I type this into my calculator, I'm actually going to type in 1 divided by cosine 78. Because it's at the end of the expression, you don't necessarily have to close it. And so when I do that, 1 divided by cosine of 78, see I got my 1 divided by cosine 78 there. And I'm going to get 4.8097. Okay? All right, go ahead and try these 3 on your own. And then after the break, I'll give you the answers to what I got. Okay? So I'm going to sit here and type them in. And then I'll write the answers down. So this is like your little pause. All right, I'm ready to start writing. So if you're not ready to start writing, then you can go ahead and pause this, but I'm going to start writing these down. When I typed in tangent of 34.9, I got 0.6976. And you need to make sure, once again, that you're in that degree mode. It shouldn't change unless you change it, or if you clear the RAM or something like that. So just make sure you're in degree mode. Sine of 78.5 gave me 0.9799, rounded to 4 decimal places. And this cosecant here I know is 1 over the sine of 87.4. And so that's going to give me 1.0.0010, and then 3 on and on. So that's the basics. The other option is we can work backwards. I'm going to have to adjust my zoom here a little bit, so pardon me while I do that. Okay, the other thing that could happen is we could be finding an angle from knowing the sine. So up here, you notice how we had 4 decimal places? And we got that from doing the actual, function into the calculator. Well, now we're going to work backwards. So we're saying my calculator spit out this, and I'm trying to figure out what I put in. And so this is where, so if we're finding theta, we're going to use inverse ratios. So we're going to use inverse ratios, i.e. sine minus 1, cosine minus 1, tangent minus 1. Okay, these are going to be, we're going to hit the second button and either sine, cosine, or tangent. Okay, so we're going to use the second function. So, for example, if I have tangent 3.12, I'm going to hit second tangent. So see, let me clear this out. Second tangent, see there? My second tangent, inverse. Tangent, inverse, and I'm just going to put in my number. And that's going to give me, write that down. That's going to give me 72.3979. What is that, is the question. Well, really what you're going to see is this, if you're still in degree mode, because we're trying to find degrees, right? That's my degrees. And the way I can check that is if I say tangent of 72.3979, that should about spit out what I want. So I'm just going to check to make sure I did it right. 72.3979. And that gives me about 3.151995 something. Okay? Use the inverse to find the angle. So same thing here. I'll do sine inverse of 0.3733. And when I do that, that's going to give me 21.92 degrees. So I rounded that to the 100th place. Same thing here. My secant is 1.07. Well, I know this is 1 over sine, 1 over cosine. Almost made a boo-boo there, right? 1 over cosine of theta equals 1.0768. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to say, let's investigate this a little bit. Well, I'll do a little bit of solving here. Multiply by cosine theta on both sides. Okay. 1 equals 1.0768 times the cosine of theta. Okay, so this is going to be here. So I'm actually going to take the inverse cosine of this. So it's going to be cosine minus 1 of 1 divided by 1.0768. Okay, and if I do that, what I'm going to get is 1 divided by 1.0768. 21.78 degrees. Nope, sorry, 77 degrees. I like to be precise around here, as precise as possible, that is. Okay? So, once again, I want you to try these. We're going to pause here while I'm doing these, and I'm going to write them down in a couple seconds. So, if you need to pause longer, do that. So, I'm going to do these, you try them. All right, you ready? This one I got 55.88 degrees, just about, a little bit off. I rounded it. The inverse cosine here gave me 54.77 degrees. And I did the inverse tangent of 1 divided by 0.0975. And that gave me 84.43 degrees. That's calculator basics, guys. That's how we do trig ratios on the calculator. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.